It's hard to describe a connection with a wild animal unless it's happened to you.
When Blue Mountains artist Tracy Dods isn't painting, she's busy helping vulnerable kangaroos.
Being able to help them, make them relax, let them get better, and then send them off out into the wild again. Yeah, it's just the best feeling.
Over 12 years, Tracy rescued and rehabilitated more than 300 kangaroos, many of those during 6 years as a volunteer for Wires, Australia's largest wildlife rescue organisation.
I call myself a kangaroo whisperer, which is a joke, but I can communicate with them and relax them and then help them when they need help.
A state of emergency was declared 3 times as more than 5.5 million hectares of land was burned.
When the Black Summer bushfires ravaged parts of New South Wales, Tracy worked tirelessly.
I was in the bushfire grounds every day for 3 months rescuing kangaroos, and we were rehabilitating quite a few of them.
Photos of Tracy spread worldwide, including this powerful image cradling a paw shared by Leonardo DiCaprio. It drove donations that would ultimately help Wires receive over $100 million.
This is dumpling.
It also inspired others to become wildlife carers, and Tracy was more than happy to help.
She was there every hour, any hour that I needed her from the very start. She was the #1 person that I went to.
But in March 2021, Tracy's property was the target of an RSPCA raid. Dolores, an adult eastern grey kangaroo Tracy had rehabilitated for 4 months after being caught in a fence, was seized and euthanased.
She was pretty much a model patient. She was taking a little bit longer, but that could have been because she might have been hanging upside down for half a day or a day, 3 days, who knows.
Tracy says the encounter was traumatising, and the presence of a Wires representative left her questioning why the charity she volunteered for would report her without discussing the issue first.
I didn't have a record of concern about animals in the past, so I was completely surprised that they would have a problem with what I was doing. They hadn't communicated in any way. They hadn't told me I was doing a good job. They hadn't told me I was doing a bad job. So I just kept going.
The RSPCA claimed Tracy's failure to seek veterinary treatment in the 2 weeks between the 20th of February and the 8th of March 2021 left Dolores in such a poor state it was cruel to keep the animal alive. 11 months after the raid, Tracy was charged with aggravated animal cruelty.
On 99% of the occasions, we can find alternatives, but the circumstances with this animal, with this person, were such that we thought that it was serious enough to take what is one of the toughest actions.
Obviously, as a wildlife carer, you don't have a healthy animal in your care, you have a compromised animal, so I thought I'd just explain that, and it didn't go as planned.
In a case that has stretched over 2.5 years, last month Magistrate Leanne Robinson found Tracy guilty of aggravated animal cruelty. The outcome has rattled wildlife carers.
I'm here because I feel like there's been an injustice. This case has made us all feel is very vulnerable, unsupported and scared.
Incensed, Broughton and her mother-in-law withdrew from Wires.
I know a lot of people who have left already. They just do not want to be the next person.
If we're not looking after our carers, and in fact, if we're choosing and making decisions to punish them and prosecuting them when they've tried their very, very hardest, then we need to take a really long, hard look at the system.
Outside Windsor Local Court, dozens of supporters rally for Tracy. Many express their disappointment with the charity they volunteer for.
We don't get a lot of support, and right now it's just that the Wires members, and you can see how many people are here today, feel as though that we're under siege.
When they first said they were putting together a welfare team with the funds that came out of the bushfires, we were really excited because we thought it would be to support volunteers, but we haven't seen any of that support. If anything, what we're actually seeing is it's an enforcement to pursue volunteers.
It would appear that from that massive injection of money that they are seeking to make governance, systems and institutional change to Wires. Now, that may be a worthy pursuit, But if you are going to do that as an organisation, as a charity, you must look after your volunteers, your members, and you must bring them along with you.
In contrast to the Red Cross, who spent 96% of the $242 million it raised from the fires within 2 years, Wires members claim their charity has yet to use the bulk of donations. Its 2024 balance sheet showing a $73 million surplus.
Those donations were intended for people to care for wildlife. So you've got people that have spent tens of thousands of dollars on their own money, are continuing to buy food and pay for vet bills, while Wires sits still on millions and millions of dollars. And to us, that's a tragedy.
At sentencing last Wednesday, Magistrate Robinson acknowledged the harm was unintentional, but imposed a 6-month community corrections order. With a conviction recorded, Tracy is banned from owning, keeping or caring for any animal, including pets, for 5 years and must pay the RSPCA's legal costs of almost $27,000.
The magistrate did say some really great things about my character and about wildlife carers, so it's just still a bit of a shock.
Why would anybody want to go and become a volunteer? I think that's the message that's been sent today.
This is not about Wires, this is not about a wildlife carer. This is a person that we came across as a consequence of a complaint. We saw an animal that was in need and we dealt with it. And in this circumstance, like the 1% of all other matters, we saw fit to take this one to court.
Over the years, Tracy has poured tens of thousands of dollars into helping kangaroos. Her purpose-built enclosures now stand empty and will for some time to come.
It's really sad. It's sad for the animals because when I rescue them, I know I can rehabilitate them, but I can't do it, and there's no one else who can do it. And then they get euthanized, and it's really, really heartbreaking.
Tracy's suffering, and most importantly, the kangaroos are suffering from what's happened to Tracy. She's our hero, but she's also their hero.
How does any of that make any sense? I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely. And the worst, I mean, there's a lot of bad things, but I think the worst thing is she's now prohibited from doing what she loves, is caring for animals.
Yeah, it seems incredibly punitive, right? Yeah.
It just also seems a bit odd.
Aggravated animal cruelty.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what the law specifically is, and I don't know what all the evidence was, but this is not a woman who's trying to do something cruel to animals.
No.
So you would think there is a pathway whereby, if it's training that you need, provide the training. You've got how many $1 million?
It seems like bureaucracy got in the way somehow, and it all got very confusing. I mean, the RSPCA, I mean, they seem to do a pretty good job, but it doesn't seem they've got that right.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a pub test thing. Like, does this pass the pub test? And it just doesn't kind of sit right. I obviously don't know the legality around it, but yeah, it just doesn't quite add up.
Interesting point that other people don't want to become carers.
Yeah.
If this can happen. Tracy says she is planning to appeal the conviction, so we'll keep you updated on that. We did reach out to Wires, but they declined our interview. In writing, CEO Leanne said, quote, for more than 40 years, Wires has remained dedicated to supporting their volunteers. Her full statement is on our website.
Also, I should point out a fellow carer did set up a GoFundMe to help pay the legal costs that RSPCA is owed, and that has nearly happened very, very quickly. So you see the community support. It's pretty clear where that is. All right.